Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to Atlanta Grill Company. Today I'm going to fire up the Kamado Joe Classic and we're going to make a little roast beef from a sirloin tip roast. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to get this project started the night before. This is purely my preference. You don't have to do this, but I like to season my meat well in advance of the cook, especially when I'm going to salt it. And this is the star of our show. It's an almost 5-pound sirloin tip roast that I bought. I actually got this one at Sam's Club and it's already trussed, but I'm going to give this guy a really nice seasoning with some of the Killer Hog's VAP rub, which is a really good salt, pepper, and garlic blend. And I'm just going to shake a nice liberal coat of that on all sides of this guy, and I'm just going to kind of pat it in as we go. And then when I have a nice coat of that on there just like that, I'm going to let it sit for a couple of minutes to let that start to adhere really good. And then I'm just going to wrap this guy up really tight in plastic wrap, and I'm going to throw it back in the refrigerator. And if you want to salt your meat in advance, I would give it at least 4 hours. Okay, we're going to get the Kamado Joe Classic 3 fired up, and I'm going to use the slow roller. And I've got some cherry and pecan chunks in there to give us a little bit of smoke for this cook. And I'm going to put my grill grates in the position right above the slow roller there, in the middle position on the divide and conquer rack. And then I'm going to close the dome lid. And I'm going to use the flame boss to run this pit at 250 degrees for this cook. Okay, while that grill's coming up to temperature, I've taken my sirloin tip roast out of the wrap. You know, last night we seasoned this thing up with some of that Killer Hog's VAP rub to get some good salt, pepper, and garlic down. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this with a layer of my Atlanta Grill Company Man Cave Meals Beef Mojo to get some nice savory on here. And I'm going to put a nice liberal coat of that all over this. And once I get that on there, we're going to let this sit here for about 10 more minutes or so while the grill comes up to temperature. Okay, the pit's up to temperature, so I'm going to crack the lid here. We're going to set this guy right in the middle, and I'm going to put my meat thermometer in here. I'm going to go through the end and get it right into the deep part of the center of that meat. And I'm going to cook this until our internal temperature gets up to about 120. I'm actually going to target about 128 to pull this off because I want this to be a nice medium rare. So I'm going to set the flame boss up to alert me when we get up to 123 or 124. We've been going about an hour and 20 minutes, so I'm going to take a peek. Oh yeah, that thing's looking nice. We've got an internal temperature right now of about about 75 degrees. So it's still cooking. We're going to come back and look at it closer to when it's done. Okay, we've been going about 2.5 hours now, and my internal temperature on this roast is up to 123 where I had the alert set. It's showing, let's see here, 123. It's close. I'm going to let this guy stay on here for just a few more minutes and get it up to 127 or 128 because I'd like for this to rest up to at least 135, maybe even just a little higher for roast beef. So we'll be back. Okay, we're done. So I'm going to pop the lid on this thing. I'm going to pull the temperature probe out and I'm going to take it off. I'm going to wrap it in foil and we're going to rest it. Now, if you want to serve this from this point, you're going to want to wrap this in foil and let it rest for about 15 or 20 minutes. before you slice it. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take this down and break it down into sandwich meat. So I want to rest this for about an hour in aluminum foil, and then I'm going to take it to the refrigerator and I'm going to chill it completely before we come back and slice into this. So I'm going to wrap it, rest it, chill it, and then we'll be back to have another look. Okay guys, I've chilled this and I've taken the liberty of slicing that up a bit. You can see how beautiful that is. This meat has an amazing flavor. Putting the salty rub on it, the AP, the Killer Hogs, the AP rub on there gets a good salt into that meat ahead of time, and then finishing it up with the Man Cave Meals AP Mojo with that coffee really makes something special here. So like I said, I've sliced this up, I've chilled it, I've sliced it, and I'm going to turn this into sandwich meat. But you can serve this right after you rest it, no problem. And you know, if you want to do a sear on this, which I didn't do, you can do a reverse sear, you can do a sear first, or you can do it just like this. This is how I cook a prime rib roast. This is the exact same method I use for prime ribs. So guys, give this a try. Let me know what you think. And until next time, this is John Sessler with Atlanta Grill Company.